So, last time we got the job that we're never gonna use. Yeah. If I use it, it'll be for gimmicky bullshit, not for its inherent abilities. This time, we're gonna continue with the plot, like we're supposed to. Montana Villa. Damn if it hasn't been a while. Let's encounter into 0. That should be good. We got some of them kobolds. Um, I think we're to. I don't remember what they're to. It might actually be Earth. I could probably switch Magnolia off of Black Mage now. They don't need no, they don't need Drain anymore, but I don't know. Shit, I can just use this now. Oh, she doesn't have Groupcast Master on. Let me see here. Let's just Circle of Life and max out White Mage. I don't need the rest of that. Let's just, Where's White Mage? There we go. Alright. Okay. Alright, I mean, this seems like a decent thing to use if I'm just trying to get rid of normies as soon as possible. Normies. They're called mooks. Normies is not the term I use for that. I want to say these things are weak to Earth? And it's not Earth. wow, it's like you called it or something. Okay, it's fine. Send the controller unplugged. Give me a sec. Quit input mapper. Restart input mapper. Because Sony is a bad company that doesn't know how to make goddamn controllers. So what are these things they do? Lightning, okay. In my case, lightning blast, I guess. And just more eradication. That's all I need, I guess. That's all you need, baby. It's fine. Eagle. Noble Eagle seems like something fun to do if I want to make a mistake. Like I do now. Yeah, like that. Do you really need like an all-target thing that isn't one-time destruction? So maybe lightning, needle. No, because it's just double lightning fast. Let's just do that again. If we just keep doing that, it should be fine. Another item over here? Yeah, there is. And Amanda. Amanda. I should just rebind these keys. I have a circle bound to A because it's accurate to the 3DS layout, but I keep hitting X because that's what I'm used to for other PS4 games. The 99 carbine. Is this supposed to be like a .99? I mean, that sure is a gun. We're still not at a point where... Well, actually, I don't know what I was going to say there, actually, because I'm pretty sure we passed... I was going to say, we're not at a point where one two-handed weapon is stronger than two one-handed weapons, but I think we were struggling to cross that point for a lot of the game, and now we're finally here, and I want to go back. I do kind of miss basically everyone having their own rejuvenation. That was a fun thing to do, but I'd rather have more power out. And Idia swinging a weapon 4 times in one turn is funny. Alright. Charlie, there are combos. Probably Benedict. Feels like just yesterday when we were up here fighting for the Night Asterisk. I just shield. Does anyone have his shield? You have the bloody shield, but I should just gotta use that. So you also have a bloody shield, but whatever, it's fine. Hey, Adventure Man! No, I went to Resting Cottage. Is that?
C'est évident. It's a ball. This can't be. It's exuding a level of power on par with... No! Even exceeding Diamante's. Yet there's been no word from Fort Lune. Did it penetrate the moon's defenses? No, Appleberry would never let that happen.
This is no time for panic, Magnolia. There's a ball in front of us, and we have to defeat it. That's all that matters right now.
Right. Let's focus on the battle before us. We can't let any sacrifice be in vain. Not now. Not ever.
Is everyone ready? Let's do it. We're coming for you. Ball the first. Turtle Dove!
Yeah. We are, fucked. Alright, Wait, no! My goddamn... You know what? You know what? You know what? Again, my A-B confusion with the controller is causing me to do dumb shit like this. Apparently recent Citra... Yeah, Citra has save states now, which I could use, but they're a little buggy, apparently. So, I'm not gonna risk it. Let's see here. Is that... Oh, hold on. All right. Let's do that instead. Now, as opposed to the absolute nonsense that was Diamante, initially Turtle Dove does not seem that crazy, but, well... It's chunky, for one thing. It's weak to wind. I wonder... Because Magnolia already pierces magic defense. And let's test. Yeah, fall in love. Idia is now in love with Tiz. What does this mean? Well, Idia can no longer follow any commands. Let's BB drink Magnolia. She will mimic any actions done and damage taken by him. Although I think it's worn off now, but here's the thing. If more than one person is in love with the same target, they will fight each other. Alright, so Tornado Rain did like 2,000, 2,500. Let's put up a Benediction Mist before I try. And also undo Lydia back to full health. Why do I even bother? Whatever. How much does sacrifices do? If I just get her alive, then Benediction Mist will help her. Wait. I did sacrifice... Okay, that works. That's good enough, I suppose. Mist is still up, so I can... Chunk. Do it max proficiency yet? Yeah, so I can do this. up another... Actually, let's put up another Nobu Mushroom. Okay, so at least they're not in love with the same person. But they're facing each other. That seems bad. It's fine. It's fine, okay, yeah, so Magnolia copied Tiz, who copied you. It's fine. It's fine. This is costing a shitload of P in takeover costs, but it's fine. Damage is being dealt. It's no longer fine. Mushroom, Magnolia, Rejuvenation, Sacrifice, Rain.
I'll keep you safe.
Heal us down! Need a res! Out of mana! Ah! Okay, yeah, that worked. That was about 24,000 damage right there.
That was ridiculous. It was stronger than any ball I've ever seen.
What's happening in Caldisla? First our memories, now this ball?
I don't know. But we have learned one thing. Luxendark still isn't free from the threat of the balls.
Au contraire, the threat is greater than ever. This ball made it past the moon's defenses almost entirely unscathed. This is Magnolia. We confirmed the presence of a new ball. We dispatched it at once, but...
Impossible! We haven't let any balls through!
I suspected as much. Somehow it eluded the moon's scanners entirely.
Preposterous! No ball has ever slipped through Fort Loon's defense system undetected.
Until now. This demands an investigation. This may not be an isolated incident. As a citizen of the moon, I have a duty to protect Luxendark. That's right. Ballbuster Magnolia Arch will not take this threat sitting down.
Understood. We are counting on you, Magnolia.
I'm sorry, everyone. It looks like I'll be needing your help just a little bit longer.
Don't be sorry. We'll help you for as long as you need.
Yeah, there's no way we're letting these balls have their way with Luxendark. Not after all we've done.
Merci, mes amis.
Are you okay, Tiz? I mean, Sir Tiz, how fare thee?
Oh, Egil! The dread beast that beset the villa has been slain.
Seriously? Man, Tiz, you really are a hero.
My friends, can you hear me?
Your Holiness.
Huh? Is that Ines' voice? Where is she?
Right in here. Say hello, Egil.
What? How'd she get stuck in there? Ines, I never knew a person could be shrunk so small.
Don't tease the
What
poor
are
boy.
you doing here, Tiz? You gotta get her out of there.
Oh, Egil, have you been well?
Yeah. Wait. You're not in trouble?
Not any longer.
Agnes, what's going on?
I heard about your troubles in Caldisla, or I should say, I remembered.
So you'd forgotten Caldisla too.
I cannot explain these recent events, but they could have grave implications for our future. I am traveling to Caldisla as we speak. Let us meet with the king together.
Certainly, Your Holiness. We'll meet you at the castle.
Oh, she's on like an
Where'd she
Eternian,
go?
like the classic Eternian ship.
So
That was the
it's
Sky
some
Stone
kind
in the
of
background.
Communication device? Whoa, that's so high tech.
Echo kind of sounds like Ken, but like modern Ken from dancing and whatnot. On the topic of Persona 3, though, what's worse? This game's insistence on ball busters, or Persona 3's insistence on Ryoji being inside of you?
That was great.
More like totally delicious.
You've become a real master chef, Magnolia. Vraiment? You're so kind.
That's another good one.
Didn't you learn a new recipe from Sakura just the other day?
She did. It started with Alfred's recipe, remember? Then you got Martha at the dorms to share her secrets. You're practically
Martha.
a culinary expert now.
Anyway, I'd better clean up.
I'll help.
Merci. But it's quite all right. I believe the cook should also clean up.
Oh, I'm so stuffed I can hardly move. I'm just gonna conk out right here.
You shouldn't sleep right after eating, you know.
Yeah, well, what happened to eat, sleep, and be merry, huh?
That's, eat, drink, and be merry.
For tomorrow we die.
What? Who's dying?
No one, we hope. Which is why we don't want you sleeping on a full stomach.
Anyway, we'll be back on the Rub-a-Dub soon. I can't wait to have a good long soak.
I love the bath oil Sakura adds. The aromas are so refreshing.
She has so many different kinds, too. Rose, orange blossom, pomegranate, wild fig and ginger, and even champagne.
Yes, sir. I could stay in the baths all day and night, looking up as the sun gives way to the stars.
Yep, soaking in a warm bath from dawn to dusk. Wouldn't that be the life?
Did you say warm water? Are you completely nuts? A bath has to be so hot you can barely stand it. Then when it feels like you can't breathe anymore, you jump out and douse yourself with cold water. That's a real bath.
So all that splashing and shrieking coming from the ladies' bath was you.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think Idia's on the mark. I mean, sitting in a warm bath for hours is nice, but it does get a bit boring.
Exactly. What's the point if you just end up dozing off?
But don't you get tired leaping in and out of water that's either too hot or too cold?
Oh, no. It's not tiring. It's refreshing. Especially when you cap it off with...
An ice cold latte.
Exactly. Knocking back an iced latte so cold you can barely taste it.
Or you could just have a coffee.
Sir, coffee and cafe latte are completely different.
I think I can finally understand you.
Character
And
development.
are you, my dear Idia?
Okay. So, back to town.
Your Holiness, you're already here.
Caldusla disappeared from our memories, only to appear again all of a sudden. Something is amiss here.
Indeed. And the king has just shared with me an equally disturbing tale.
Do tell.
For those of us on the outside, it was as though Kaldisla suddenly returned to our memories. But for the people of this land, it was the existence of the rest of the world which came back to them only now.
A most curious state of affairs indeed. I ask of you, Vestal of Wind, beg pardon, your holiness, I would hear your counsel. Whatever should I and my kingdom do?
Your Highness, I thank you for welcoming me back to Kaldisla with such warmth. As for your question...
I'm glad your arm's feeling better.
My arm? Yes, it's fine.
That's a load off. Seeing you run about all the time, sometimes I get worried.
I'm simply doing my duty. I do not find it a burden.
So come on, spill it. Did you find out anything about Yoko?
Yoko? What are you...
But what do you think, Idia?
Huh? I think, sorry, what are we talking about?
Honestly, idiot, this is a serious meeting between world leaders.
We were discussing how the balls might be appearing.
Never mind how they appear. We don't even know where they come from.
That's true. And even if we did know, something is clearly different this time.
There are just too many things we don't understand about these balls.
I'm sorry. I should know more.
Don't be so hard on yourself, Magnolia. It's not your fault.
Our heroes, surely you must be exhausted after such a harrowing battle. Pray, stay the night and rest yourselves.
Quelle deception. And I call myself a ball buster. What do I truly know about the balls? I never even thought to ask.
Please, don't blame yourself, Magnolia. I'm no better. I knew nothing about the true Crystal Guard. Nothing about my own brother.
You. Thank you.
Oh, there must be someone out there who can give us a clue, right?
Do not judge a carrot by its leaves, nor a man by his words alone. True value is rarely apparent on the surface, you'll find.
It's a ghost!
My young friends, it would seem you have questions about the balls, and I may very well have answers. It is, well, comme ci, comme ça. Would you start with the good news, or the bad?
Oh, this never ends well. All right, give us the good news first.
The good news is that, yes, I have finally uncovered the truth behind the balls.
Ah, la vache! You have? And what is it?
I'm afraid that brings us to the bad news. I believe, no, I am convinced that the balls are the unresolved feelings of my dearest Vega given life.
C'est horrible! How can this be? Vega was your beloved, no? The one you left behind in the Celestial Realm?
The same. And the balls that threatened to destroy Luxendark. As much as I am loath to admit it, they were born of our shared memories.
Your memories created the balls? How is that even possible?
It is only a theory, but I believe that Vega even now harbors feelings of deep yearning and remorse. And that someone, something, has seized upon these emotions, giving them physical form as weapons of mass destruction.
What a monster! Manipulating someone's feelings for such a terrible purpose!
You can say that again. So, this means that the balls come from the Celestial Realm?
That would be the only reasonable assumption.
That settles it. Altair, let's go to the Celestial Realm and save Vega from this nightmare.
Oh, a most kind offer, you. And yet I fear it is not so simple. I too long to see my Vega again, so I searched and searched for a way to reach the Celestial Realm, to no avail.
We'll just have to keep trying then. Never say never until you're dead.
A sentiment I shared, my dear you, which is why I kept trying, kept searching, until my death.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean...
A joke, my dear boy, a joke!
So you're just going to give up? You've carried on all these years in the hopes of seeing Vega again. Now you're just going to accept how things are?
Oh, of course I do not accept it. How could I accept my beloved being used as an instrument of destruction? I want to help her with all my heart, I do, and yet... My friends, might I beseech your aid?
Whoa, why so formal? Of course you can. Magnolia here is a ballbuster after all.
And even if I weren't, I would help. Anyone who'd use another's love for the purpose of evil deserves to get theirs.
Right. You've been our friend from the start, Altair. We've been through so much together. We're not giving up on you now.
Your friend? Oh, thank you, my dear children. As a matter of fact, I unearthed a new clue since coming to this place. A fairy named Anna.
Right. It was as if Diamante was under her control.
And she mentioned something about her master, didn't she?
I think we've seen enough to know that she's involved up to her eyeballs.
Then our course of action is clear. Search out Anna, my young friends. With all my heart. Bonne chance.
And of course, the place that leads to the Celestial Realm.
So there was a path between Luxendark and the Celestial Realm right here. What a delightful surprise. I've been having so much fun taking out the moon that I never even thought to look for one. But this changes everything. Why, from a place like this, I can summon balls and balls galore. Those moonies can't do a thing for Luxendark if my balls come through here. They'll be pumped and primed for battle. And not only that, oh no, it might even be possible for my lord to descend upon Luxendark from here. The only fly in the ointment is you, Jenny Olja, and his stupid friends. They've interfered with me every step of the way. Why, they've even recovered memories from alternate dimensions. That's basically cheating, you know. How are they doing it? Is it that hourglass they have? No, that alone wouldn't explain it. Ugh! What is their little secret?
All right. So, we could go to the Great Chasm. We could go progress the plot. But there's one other plot thread hanging. And it was just mentioned what it was. And as for where... well... where else could it be?
The keystones are all in place. And yes, the door's unlocked.
What does that mean?
My guess is someone must be inside.
Let's have a look around. Be sure to wrap up warm, Magnolia. It's freezing inside. I don't know how this castle manages to be colder on the inside than the out.
You've been here before, Idia?
Yeah, with Agnes and Tiz. Look, what's that? This helm. Alternus!
Stay strong, Idia. I'm sure he's all right. Let's go look for him.
All right. Time for the climb. Also, the encounter rate is locked to 0% here. So, that actually gets explained in a bit. Also, really? High potion? It's the end of the game. Actually, there's something over this way. Regular ether. God damn it. Alright, we're good. Lightning Dart instantly kills them, so I can rest easier than usual. Anyways, progress.
Look, this painting.
Yoko?
Remember what Alternus said? He was going after Yoko. Why, if it isn't our loyal Minister of the Right.
What? Yoko?
Yoko! If you laid a hand on Alternus, I'll...
Idia, don't do anything rash.
Wise advice. We think you would do well to listen. Your knight in not-so-shining armor is fine. At least he seemed healthy, running away as fast as his legs could carry him. But enough talk about him. We are much more interested in you. Perhaps you are aware that Vampire Castle is known by another name. The Hall of Truth, where the curious can learn all there is to know. Yet some truths are not so easily faced. What of you? Would you cast off your blissful ignorance and face the truth? Then make for the floors above, but be forewarned. Before you can learn the truth, you must prove yourself worthy of it. Tiz, do not think you can avoid the dangers that you would encounter in this place. Within these walls, the powers of Luxendark's gods will not avail you. This is our realm. We make the rules, and you have no choice but to play by them. It is only fair, yes? A truth learned through anything other than your own efforts is no truth at all. We shall await you above. Fare thee well.
truth. What is she talking about?
Tiz, we don't have to do anything she says.
But what about Alternus?
At last it's working.
Alternus! Thank heavens you're safe.
Yes, it was a close call, but I made it.
You should have known it was too much to handle by yourself. Do you have any idea how worried we were?
Well, you...
Ugh, you blockhead!
Well, at least we know Alternus is safe. What should we do now?
Well, I don't trust that girl at all. This could very well be a trap.
That is a possibility, yes. But what if she's telling the truth?
So, remember when I said we weren't done learning about how Founder Jenny Olja was a bastard? Fuck Founder Jenny Olja. All my homies hate Founder Jenny Olja. I love automatic counters. Lamia's Tiara. Nullifies charm, magic attack up. Nope. Drop in the goddamn bucket.
We were wondering how long you meant to keep us waiting. But no matter. We shall keep our promise. This is the first truth. The tale of the ambitious man. How long did we lay in slumber? That first time that we slept? We awakened and opened our eyes to the sight of a man standing before us. This man, this ambitious man, had come to explore the shrine in which we slept. 20 years ago, another man, another ambitious man, came for us. He brought with him a young girl, and within her body encased our very soul. With this, his true goal would be realized. The man had come to plunder the shrine, to claim the treasures that had been offered to us over the ages. His expedition a success, the man assembled his fleet and set sail for Gathlatio, blissfully ignorant of the truth that within the girl's chest slept the seed of a deadly plague.
That's also a pretty bad one.
Fever struck her only days into the journey. With haste, the fleet made for the nearest port. The man wanted to continue, but the girl's grandfather,
the owner of the fleet, forbade it. Fearing that the girl carried a deadly disease, he appealed to the church, demanding that the girl be quarantined. The ambitious man wished to take the girl and his treasures home. He petitioned the church for permission to set sail. The leaders of the church, unable to reach a consensus, sent for an exorcist. This exorcist, a man by the name of Geist, would free the girl of whatever evil possessed her. Those who sought to keep the girl in town thought they could use the ritual as a pretense to delay the fleet's departure. The other camp believed that once the ritual was performed, she would be cured, and there would be no more reason to hold her. And so it came to pass that a compassionate man, a covetous man, a merciful man, an ambitious man, and a wise man reached their decision. A terrible decision, the most sinful in history. The ritual was performed, and the ships were allowed to leave port. The merry fleet sailed on for Gathalotio, sowing the seeds of the plague across the realm. The name of that man, the ambitious man, who roused us from slumber, was none other than Greed Geniolja. Yes, your father.
What? You're saying that my father caused the Great Plague?
We promised you the truth, did we not? But why take our word for it? It is all here, writ in your father's own hand. If you have the courage to face the next truth, we shall await you above.
Wait, Yoko!
So... Ano-orthodoxia. The statue of Kulan. Nothing like this I want to see right now. Anyways, continuing onwards. Continue to go out of my way to get every single chest, even though most of them are not that helpful. apparently is also burning through our MP surprisingly fast. Another mushroom, that's good. Alright, next plot dump, and also heal while I'm at it.
It took you long enough. Did you read your father's log? No matter. It is time you learned the second truth. This is the tale of the sinful ruling. The wise men opposed to moving the young girl hoped that the ritual performed by the exorcist Geist would delay her departure. This would prevent the plague from spreading. But the ambitious man and covetous man were impatient and tried to foil their plan. Still, they could not stop Geist from reporting the girl's condition to the church's Office of Public Health. Upon receiving the report, the Office of Public Health ordered the girl quarantined and barred from further travel. Regrettably, it did not end there. The covetous man within the church appealed to the merciful man. The church should use their vaunted medicine to treat the girl, said he. And the ambitious man appealed to the loving man. The poor girl deserves the finest treatment the church can offer, said he. And so it came to pass. The merciful man and the compassionate man changed their minds. They ordered that the fleet be allowed to sail. And so the ships, with their treasure and the ailing child in tow, unfurled their sails and set a course for distant Gathalatio. The fleet berthed at many towns along the way, unwittingly sowing the seeds of death at every port of call. Only when they landed on their third continent did dire tidings reach the ears of the sailors. The first port they had docked at was in the grip of a terrible plague. Faced with a crisis and with morale low, Greed, your father, made a decision. He gave every sailor in the fleet a flagon of rum filled with poison. The men died, one after the next. Their ships, their treasure, the poor girl and her dear grandfather, all were swallowed by the waves. Perhaps the church had ordered that Eternia alone be spared. Who can say for sure? What we do know is that greed, and greed alone, made a triumphant return to Gathalatio. Though he had lost nearly his entire fleet, he had salvaged treasure enough to fill the church's coffers. He became a man of great standing in the church's hierarchy, and the very next year was blessed with his firstborn son.
Denny, my brother.
Yes. It was not long after this that the dark hand of the plague came to Eternia. But here, why not read for yourself your father's words? You have faced two truths. Have you the courage to face another? I await you in the halls above.
So I think I'm just going to read all the logs off screen, and then next time I'll come back and show you anything interesting that comes with them, because they'll appear to be just recaps of the existing. Okay, thank you for that. I need to Phoenix down, Magnolia. Vanille. Maybe you should like raise up a confectioner slash catmancer, either or. Probably confectioner because I don't actually I don't think I can get most of the catmancer stuff anymore. Charmer's a fucking nightmare, dude. Probably... Next up. Next plot dump.
You do take your time. You have read your father's words, I trust? Very well. I shall share with you the third truth. This is the story, the true untold story, of the Great Plague.
Not
The
clickbait.
first deaths were in the eastern reaches of Eternia, in a sleepy border village. The mourners grieved for their loved ones, their wails echoing through the mountains. Eventually, the cries faded away, and a stillness settled over the land. From the depths of time it had found us. The world we feared most had become reality. As death lay heavy on the land, a young priest named Brave petitioned his elders. He sought to use the power of the crystals to treat the sick, but his petition was denied. Instead, the church sealed off the high roads. It cut off the border villages, leaving countless people to suffer and die. Angered at the church for forsaking the village of his birth, Brave resigned from the priesthood. He did not, however, abandon his duty. First, he saw to it that his friend Norzen of the Office of Medicine was given full authority to investigate the origins of the plague. He planted Confederates in key positions, building a network that would allow him to monitor the inner workings of the church. In time, the plague released its grip on the world, though not because a cure had been found. It simply had no more victims to claim. Until, that is, the coming of the second pandemic. A second wave of terror swept over the world. A new strain of the plague emerged, threatening to complete the extinction begun by the first. Thus began a long battle which pitted Norzen and his researchers against the deadliest disease the realm had ever known. Their work was relentless. Many researchers and their families sacrificed their lives to the cause. Unwilling to put his men at risk, Norzen took to testing new treatments on his own body, losing one of his 5 senses in the process. Then, just before she herself succumbed, one researcher discovered a feline immunity that promised to neutralize the disease. She was able to transfer the antibodies to her daughter, a young girl named Minette.
I just now realized that that's why Norzin can't hear anything. Oh!
So it was that a vaccine was formulated that would bring the second pandemic to an end. The whole story is faithfully recorded here, in Greed's log. As the people came to learn of the terrible crimes committed by the Church, its authority began to crumble. In desperate hope of regaining the faith of the people, the Church issued a proclamation. It would attempt the grand ritual. It was this, more than anything, that spurred Brave the Templar to action. These events too are recorded in your father's log. Have you the courage to press on in search of the truth? Then you know where to find us.
All right. I believe Vampire Castle had 7 floors in the first game? 7 or 8. But we're closing in on the top, for sure. As much as these goddamn Cerberus do not want us to progress. Really starting to wish I could turn off encounters. Well, that helps.
Must you always keep us waiting so? But no matter. The fourth truth awaits you. We shall tell you of the trials of the White Lion. The Templar Braves uprising took control of the capital of Eternia and the Temple of Earth, seat of the Church's power. The Church, having lost its ability to govern, eyes now turn to its military might, the disbanding of the Crystal Guard. Curiously enough, this order came from within, Greed Geniolja, of one of the high houses of the Three Cavaliers. His motives were self-serving. Greed sought to protect his family and closest allies at the expense of all others. Houses Genealja and Camlin of the Disbander faction launched an attack on those who sought to keep the Crystal Guard intact. These opponents were led by two powerful houses that remained loyal to the order that Greed had begun to destroy. The two houses had in their service a swordsman, Jerome Balestra, whose skills were famed throughout the land. Balestra fought back bravely against the warriors of
You
houses
definitely want to stay up
Genealja
until
and
at least the
Camlin.
end of the
Almost single-handedly,
until the end
he
of the
fended off waves of opponents.
castle.
But in the end, he was just
Going to
one
want
man.
to see this.
Balestra's brave efforts were in vain. Gates were breached, castles and manors put to the torch. With his dying breaths, Balestra entrusted his boy Jan to the care of his loyal squire, a man by the name of Angard. At the same time, a young man named Nikolai, who had been tasked with leading one wing of the attack, gazed upon the hellish scene. Though he had only been following orders, he was haunted by guilt for what he had done. Though the once proud Crystal Guard was now but a name, Nikolai continued to serve, and serve proudly. He petitioned the church leaders for its revival, recruiting Jan and other comrades to his cause. Was it all to atone for that day? But that is a story for another time. Now, we return to the tale of the White Lion. The Genealja and Camlin clans defeated their foes one by one, growing their power through bribes paid for with plundered gold. But disbanding the Crystal Guard had unforeseen and tragic consequences in the neighboring regions of Eternia. Unemployed soldiers turned to banditry, pillaging the villages that had survived the plague. Concerned that public order was breaking down, houses Genealja and Camlin formed their own private armies to put down the bandits. Their armies grew mightier and mightier. Among those promoted through the ranks were men who claimed to have destroyed the home of the witch that had caused the Great Plague. How many villages were razed to the ground to restore the illusion of peace? One tragedy giving rise to the next, a never-ending spiral of death and destruction, and at the root of it, one man's ambition. Jan, Nikolai, Bella, so much pain, so much suffering, so much sacrificed for the glory and might of House Genealja.
This can't be true.
He falls over.
Stay strong, you. You had nothing to do with any of this. But in the end, wealth and power could not buy immortality. The ambitious man, the foolish man, died of a common illness.
Womp womp.
So ends the story of Greed Genealja. Oh, how he entertained us so. But you do not. Farewell, my Millicent.
We're not done, though. Of course we're not done. There's still someone whose face we have yet to see. Damn, though. Alright. Yotes just did elite damage. Okay, so there's a fucking fake wall somewhere. Here we go. Bloodblade! Bloodblade! With the existence of the Bloodblade, you could theoretically recreate my Aspir Dark Knight setup, or Drain Dark Knight setup, rather, from the first game. But I'm not going to do that. Especially because we don't have access to,
Wait, I remember this blade.
we don't have access
The sword
to
of the brave.
the Super White Mage.
I expected you sooner, but you have come, despite
I
our
believe
warning.
this is where interesting
You
things
need not
happen.
explain yourself. When the truth sings, who can resist its siren call? Let me tell you my story. I am a presence once known as a yokai. What does the word mean? Nothing to me. I am I, nothing more, nothing less. I belong to and am beholden to no man. I have but one desire, to change this world we live in. Only those who have achieved true growth can lift the world to a higher plane, the next layer. So has the tapestry of history been woven, and so it shall continue to be. True growth means accepting all within you, seeing through the lies you tell yourself, and becoming that which you were meant to be. In that sense, one could also say, the more that is sealed away within your heart, the greater and stronger you might still grow. But few have the courage to brave the dark depths within their heart and achieve their true
I
potential.
believe this is it.
Many have tried, and most have met with fates worse than death. Oh, but there is one heart I've yet to peek within, isn't there? Let us see what you are hiding from us, Idia.
My name is Idia Lee, daughter of the Grand Marshal of Eternia. For so long I was proud of myself, of my position, of my family. But 2.5 years ago, I turned my back on it all.
And why did you do this?
I just couldn't accept what the Duchy was doing.
Is that the whole reason? Or was it because you wanted to assert yourself, to claim your own identity?
No,
Were you seeking someone's approval? Tell me.
My father. I wanted his recognition.
Very good, Idia. Now, let us go deeper.
You know, Yoko's voice is probably not helping.
Loneliness. That is what you feel deep in your heart.
That's not true!
Of course it is. You do your best to hide it, of course. You smile and play your role. But Oddness has Tiz. Magnolia has you. Musser has Brave. Eleanor has Commander Goodman. Amy and Panettone. Holly and Barris. You see their joy. And you feel loneliness, sadness, fear.
Stop it!
For you had someone too, but he left you far, far behind. You will never see him again. The one you cared for more than anyone else in this world.
And what hurts most of all is that he chose to leave you. You told yourself you were strong, that you would be fine on your own. Alone forever, with no one to stand by you. Not now, not when you grow old, not when you die. This is your truth, is it not, Idia?
I miss him. Ring a bell.
Idia!
Ring a bell?
In the flesh. I'm sorry, it isn't like me to keep a lady waiting. You, alone? Nonsense. I've always been at your side, Idia. In Geyser Grotto, in Florum, even in Kaldisla. I never forgot you, not for a fleeting moment. Don't believe me? Here, have a look at my journal.
It's always about you, isn't it? I hate you!
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to tease. Now, shall we return together?
Ring a bell? It's you!
You would ring a bell? That ring a bell?
The one and only. But the merry reunion can wait. I believe we have a fox to catch.
Yeah, buddy! Oh my god. Oh, oh, it's so good to have him back. Oh my god, this is so worth it the whole game for. God, and his special theme playing too is so good because just the complete absence of special themes otherwise. Like, there was the one time Bluebird played, and aside from that, oh man. Okay, so I think this is the top. I hope this is the top. Or no, I think there's one more. I don't remember.
You mean Yoko?
Precisely. Locked in battle with the Plains Wardens, my comrades.
Plains Watsons?
What are you even talking about?
I suppose now is as good a time as any to explain. I am forbidden from divulging classified information, but I will tell you what I can. We Plains Wardens are, as our name implies, the wardens of many and myriad planes of existence. That didn't quite clear things up? Allow me to elaborate. The tale would be best heard from Yoko herself, but this is one truth that fox won't be so generous about sharing. She spoke of a wish to change the world, yes? To make it a better place? She lies. She exists only to create chaos and to revel in it. She uses our guilt, our sins, real and perceived, to achieve her nefarious ends. Do not listen to her deceitful words. Growing as a human being is about more than dredging up old fears and traumas. After our encounter in Geyser Grotto, I contacted my superiors. Apparently, Yoko has been designated by our department as an S-rank malevolent spirit of concern. It would seem she's been lurking on this planet for 4.6 billion years, give or take.
Are you sure that information isn't classified?
The point is, I intend to defeat her and close the book on her villainy. But I'll be needing your help to chase her down, my friends.
Of course. You can count on us.
But just look at you. A Plains Warden. Whatever that is, I guess you're moving up in the world.
And you'd expect any less from me? Now, let's go catch this fox by the tail. No matter what the cost, I must defeat her. Yes, I must.
so that none need lose another of their loved ones again.
All right. Speaking of Cerberus, there's a chest up there and a fox. And honestly, this might be the best fox in the game. Because as you might expect, Ring a Bell is with us.
Ah, that was simply scrumptious. My road has been a lonely one. It is comforting indeed to dine in the company of friends once more.
Here's your coffee, Sir Ringabel.
Thank you, my boy. Harina Mountain Blend. Ooh, these are fine beans indeed.
Well, I think I'll clean up. Care to help, Magnolia?
Oh, of course.
You keep rubbing your arm. Has your wound healed?
Oh, more or less.
You've been watching over us. For all this time. You could have said something, you know. You could have told me it was you. Would it have killed you to come out and say, "Hey, Idia, I'm back"? Well, say it. Say it already!
Well, what are you waiting for?
You too, old friend?
Just say it, Ringabel.
Yes. I should have said it much earlier. To all of you. I'm back, my friends.
There. Was that so hard?
Good to have you back, Ringabel.
I should say something to Agnes, too.
She'd like that. I know she would.
You yourself. What are you doing there?
Her Holiness is in the bath. She asked me to take her calls. But then suddenly I had these bad stomach cramps and I had to run to the restroom. Yes, it was a close call. Ah, what am I saying? It's not important. What are you doing with Idia? Well, wait. That voice. From my dream. After the Kaiser attacked, I was gravely wounded, delirious. I could scarcely move. Fear not, I shall protect them, the Grand Marshal and Idia both. That voice was...
That's quite enough, friend. I'm not interested in your, or any man's, dreams. Moving on to matters of greater import. Did you say Agnes was in the bath?
Yes, what of it?
Oh, well, this is a matter of the utmost urgency. I repeat, must speak to Her Holiness at once.
Oh
And
my
don't switch the
god.
camera off. To her side, quickly, man.
Camera? I don't understand.
No, wait!
Never change, Ring a Bell.
Shall I put a muzzle on you, Ring-a-Bell?
Aha, forgive me. It was an innocent slip of the tongue.
Not a single one of those words is correct.
Tell us, Ringabel. After all that happened, did you find the world you were looking for?
Why, yes. Yes, I did.
Wait a minute. The chasm disappeared, right? So how'd you get here?
Now that's a long story.
I'd be interested in hearing it.
And hear it you shall, my fair lady. You see, I wanted nothing more than to protect my dear Idia here, and so...
Then why didn't you show your face? Why did you hide from me, you heartless pig?
Yo, whoa, let go! Idia, mercy, mercy!
Huh? You? What's the matter?
The croissants! The ones I set aside for breakfast, they're gone!
Of course they are.
Idia!
What? I didn't touch them.
And with that, let's get going.
Backstory to be saved for, Bravely 3rd? Hopefully? Bravely Default 2, you must tease me so. But it's time. Chompers! God damn it. Heal me, Magic Man. Alright.
Late as ever.
Foul demon, prepare yourself.
Prepare myself? For what, little man? When last I saw you, you were down below, cowering in terror.
Cowering? Hardly. Anyhow, I've returned, and I've brought my friends.
Ring-a-bell, your wounds are still fresh. Leave Yoko to us.
That's right. You've done enough for us. It's time we returned the favor.
Right! Ring-a-bell, you provide backup, okay?
Monsieur Plainswarden, stand back and watch a ball buster in action.
But this was supposed to be my time to shine.
It
All
still
right.
is.
Go get her, and know that you have the best backup any dimension has to offer. Now, is everyone ready?
I am alone. I belong to no one, and to nothing. I have no need of names, but you may call me Yoko, the Yokai. You wish to hear the truth? Then prove yourselves worthy of it. Claim it with your own strength, and the truth shall be yours.
Alright. An open mushroom. Oh, yeah. Medium DP shrink.
I vow to protect you.
So remember when he said backup? Fuck yes! Not only does he chime in with special moves, these count towards your special move, oh shit, just made us everything move. But these count towards resetting special move cooldowns. So, let's see here.
Here I go!
We're probably gonna nuke Yoko super fast because he combos. He basically changed your special moves together, meaning you get all these bonuses that should probably not be stacked, but are stacked anyways. Oh, that erased the Inopa mushroom. You know what? That's my bad. Alright, 100 HP.
I believe it's my turn.
I'm not pulling any punches.
Oh, pardon me.
You, Genioja, scion of the ambitious man. You struggle to free yourself from the weight of your family and its blood-soaked past. You, Genioja, son of
Look,
the
I appreciate
villain
this.
who unleashed the Great Plague. Spawn your...
I have special move.
Did... Oh...
I have special move cooldown to get through. I can't be listening to this.
Alright, who wants a beating?
Fucking destruction. Absolute destruction. She's out damaging. She is out damaging Wanton Destruction with her normal attack. This is Idia's time to goddamn shine.
I'll strike like a thunder god to the heart.
So goddamn good, man. Chunk. Chunk. It's game over.
You are strong. Then go for...
So, there is one thing that I missed from this. His last special move will be to use Rejuvenation, which only recovers 2,000 HP for your party. And he'll say, "I'll save everyone! Ladies first, of course!" And then Idia will admonish him for being Ring a Bell. But it's fine. It's great. It's wonderful. It's the best boss fight in the game. It's everything I could have asked for. And with this, we get the yokai, which is, it's interesting. It's the other half of Vampire, basically, where it has enemy attacks, but you don't necessarily fight these. Or rather, you fight these, but you don't directly learn these from them. Also, all of their skills are ridiculously expensive, and they have the best magic stat in the game, but only have Rod's A and not Rod's S. So it's really, really weird. But the more important detail about yokai, aside from being the last job, yokai brings with it awakening. Raises the maximum attainable job level from 10 to 11. And a lot of the level 11 jobs kinda suck. I mean, okay, we have Late Bloomer here from freaking Freelancer, and that's fine. But some of these are, removing the cooldown time on jump, which is the reason why you use jump to begin with. I'll go over more of these later, but Mimic is not here, and I would like to talk about these with her. So, we will view this lore dump, and then
Late
peace out
again.
early, unfortunately.
Although measured against my own eternity, 2 decades is barely the blink of an eye. In that sense, you are ahead of your time, you Genealja. To tell the story of Founder, we must go back far, far into the past. Yes, this is a tale from the far side of time. One day, 2 people came sailing in on a glimmering ship. I took quite a liking to these travelers from another world. I guided them through this world of ours, as they sought a way back to their own. None of us foresaw what would happen next. It happened in a laboratory on board their vessel. A rare disease from their world somehow became mixed with a deadly illness from ours. The seeds of what would come to be known as the Origin Plague multiplied at breathtaking speed, spreading beyond anyone's control. If left unchecked, the plague would claim all life on this planet, everyone I loved. So I took the seeds of disease within me and begged the 2 to seal me away. And then I slept. Months and years and centuries passed. For 1,000 eons I slumbered. In time, the people came to believe that the cave in which I slept housed a god. They built a shrine at its entrance. The dynasty that built the shrine prospered, built a mighty civilization, then fell, as dynasties are wont to do. Through it all, I slept, forgotten, until some 24 short centuries ago. Founder came and roused me from slumber. He heard my story. He spoke to me. I can do nothing for you, he said. But someday one of my line will find a cure for the plague within you. Yes, someday he will come for you. So he said, as tears welled in his eyes. At last, at long, long last, I will be free of this curse. Such was my final thought as I drifted back to sleep. I slept again, a shorter slumber. 2 decades ago, I awoke to see Greed standing before me. When I saw the ambition in his eyes, I knew. He was the one of whom Founder had spoken. As my forefather promised, so have I come. He spoke, answering the question I dared not ask. Greed flattered himself, believing he was the man destined to be my rescuer. He meant to sail me to Gathelatio, that he might there find the cure for the plague inside me. But such hope was short-lived. The plague spread and spread quickly, and so he sunk me, sunk all of us to the murky depths of the sea. He did this that Gathelatio, Eternia, and humanity itself might be saved. In his eyes, too, welled those pained tears. Yes, just like Founder before him. I understood everything but said nothing. Once again I closed my eyes. As the waves claimed me, I could hear him cry out, "I shall put an end to this foul plague." After that, Greed's heart turned cold. Kindness, human affection, such emotions were lost to him. They had sunk to the lonely depths, along with his ships, one girl, and countless treasures.
Father.
Do not cry, you. Strange as it may seem, I am grateful to Greed and to Founder both. Because of Founder, who woke me from slumber, I was able to learn that an old friend was safe. And Greed's heartless decision did help bring the second pandemic to an end. Greed and Founder, two men of ambition. For better or worse, they changed the course of history and shaped this world. Now it is your turn, you. Yes. I will be watching with interest to see how your chapter of history plays out.
Thank you, my friends. You've been most cooperative. Idia, you have my gratitude.
Wait, what's going on? This better not be another goodbye.
Forgive me. Strictly speaking, I was not supposed to reveal my identity in the first place. Because this pocket we're in belongs to Yoko, we were able to make an exception. But only for a short time.
No! Just stop right there! You can't leave me again!
Idia, I never left you and I never will. It's like I said after all. Wherever, whenever you are in peril, there I will be.
Ring a bell.
But before I go, I have a task for you, Magnolia.
Oui? What would that be?
Yoko, with her unearthly powers, held sway over the sins of mankind. But now that she has left us, these sins will be unleashed, free to run rampant over our world, in the form of fearsome beasts.
Oh, je comprends. Say no more. I've got it under control. As a ballbuster, protecting the peace of Luxemdark is my sworn duty. We shall find these beasts of sin and destroy them when we do.
If our information is correct, the beasts slumber. They sleep in great monoliths, stone monuments scattered across the land. Ah, and Tiz, I have a special request for you as well.
Of course, anything you say.
Tell Her Holiness Pope Agnes that Ringabel sends his regards. But I fear all good things must come to an end. And now I'd best be on my way.
Ring a bell, no!
Fear not, for we shall meet again. Till then, my friends, be well!
And that's that. Yoko was promised that Greed and or Founder would cure the plague. She... Ringabel is gone. A new shop has opened up. These provide the tier 11, or rather the level 11 skills for the mages. Raise all, which we have Resurrect on friggin' Bishop. This is not that helpful. Especially because this is 60 MP. It might honestly be cheap. Well, I don't know. Hold on. Resurrect's 32. Blast is 50. Yeah, it is cheaper to cast Resurrect Blast. Flare. I mean, it's a Final Fantasy staple. It can't be reflected. It's got high power. It's decent, although 80 MP is a bit much. But as you might have seen, part of the appeal of yokai is that it brings the Ga skill, or the Ja spills. So, quick 100% hit count for the whole party. Neat. Again, you know, spellcraft, but I guess if you don't want to run spellcraft or don't have the room for spellcraft, this is fine. Fate, which casts... here's the thing. I thought that this was, I thought this was a charm the target, and I was like, what the fuck? I mean, I don't, there's not that many ways to charm an enemy in this game, but I don't see the point. No, you fall in love, you make them fall in love with you. This is how you cast love. This is the only player accessible way to cast love. Like, turtle love. So, that's actually quite powerful. And status barrier. I mean, I miss, oh, fuck, I don't even remember what it's called at this point. But I miss the, Super White Mage from the first game as much as you do, but this is not necessarily an acceptable sacrifice. And that's all you can buy.
Beasts and monoliths?
What's the matter, Tiz?
I was thinking about what Ringabel said. About these beasts that have taken the form of monoliths.
You mean the monsters that appeared because Yoko wasn't around anymore to control humanity's sins?
We shouldn't mess around. We need to find those monuments and get rid of these sin beasts before they cause real trouble.
D'accord, but first we must prepare for the trials ahead.
And I'm gonna call it for the day because Mimic has fallen asleep. And also, I mean, all that's left is... like, once we go to the Great Chasm, that's basically endgame right there. And I don't want to stack this on top when it's we're already 2 hours in. So... yeah. Next time, I should probably be able to get... I think next time will probably be the finale, and I'll grind out all the, random enemies to get that done first. Next time, that means we should have a nearly complete bestiary. We're almost done with, we're almost done with humanoids. The only one that I'm missing, the only ones that'll be missing are bosses, and that's just because I can't fight any of the balls without, without being able to access the, actually, there are a couple things that are truly post-game locked, but, you know, I'll get as much as I can complete. Yeah, next time will be the story finale.